If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
It's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you hanging out with us tonight as we get ready to see the cars and stars of the Grid Rival IndyCar Challenge Series. It's a vintage throwback series taking on the Iowa Speedway. This one is going to be a blast tonight. 130 laps. Wrong button. 130 laps from one of the world's fastest short tracks. And, well, let's take a look, get you out to the track. You like it when a plan comes together early, right? Practice just wrapping up here with about 5 seconds left to go. Brandon Ishkanen is your quick timer. Alec Coach, Jim Brooks, Matt Wagner, and Gary Corley completing the top 5, but there's only a third of a second separating, well, quite frankly, the entire field that's here tonight. 16 cars will make up the starting grid. Actually, we've already got cars getting out on to the racetrack for qualifications. We'll take a look here. TJ McMurray just getting ready to roll off here. Let's take a look. We'll pick up Vic Aldrich instead. Show you all the fun graphics here. Once again, my name is Chris Graham. 0.89 miles is the length of this one.
And this is going to be qualifying en masse. So we'll lay off the side-by-side stuff here, at least just a little bit anyway. Alec Coates moving to the top of the speed charts. Oh, well, he just completes his run, so he comes to a stop. We'll pick up the 42 of Jeff Destino. Destino going to complete his qualification run. 16:56 will be the lap time of record for Destino. Jim Brooks to the top of the chart at a 16:45. James Watson finishing up his run. He's going to be fourth quick. Let's pick up the guy who was quickest in practice. Brandon Ishkanyan. These DW12's absolutely haul around this place. Connor Baldwin completing his run at a 16:46. How about 3 cars all in the 16:45 bracket? A dead heat for the top spot. Alec Coates at a 16:452. Jim Brooks second quick, 16:452. 16:456 the time for Connor Baldwin. Lap number 2 on the board for Brandon Ishkanyan. That's a little bit of a surprise. 16:535 will be the lap time of record for the number 19. He's 8th quick and 8/100ths of a second off the pace. We'll pick up Matt Wagner now as he's going to get ready. Well, let's do this. Let's take a look here at Nick DeGroot as Nick is rolling out onto the racetrack. As soon as we see Matt Wagner start rolling here, we'll, or at least somebody else start rolling, we'll get the side-by-side up for you as well. Lap number 1 going to be on the board for Nick DeGroot, and it will be 12th quick at a 16:98. You would tend to think lap number 2 may be significantly quicker for the 89. Hooks that car all the way down to the apron. Lap number 2, 5th quick for 16.499. 5/100ths of a second separating your top 5. Looking for a 1/10 of a second. Got to go all the way back to TJ McMurray. Here is Matt Wagner, and get you the look over the shoulder here as well. Lap number 1, 17.028. See what lap number 2 is going to look like. Down to 48 seconds left. If Jason and Joseph Morales are going to set a time, they're going to have to do it pretty quickly here. Lap number 2 on the board. Quick time, 16.441. 16.441 seconds for Matt Wagner. But he's only 100th quicker than Alec Coates and Jim Brooks. That is absolutely insane. So we see Matt Wagner pulling down into his pit box. Dark Horse Racing on the side. Well, it's the number 3 is the paint scheme, but I'm seeing it as car number 1. So if you're looking at it in timing and scoring, just kind of keep your eye out for that one. Looks like qualifications are over. The grid is set. And it is time to go racing here at the Iowa Speedway. So as the cars get ready to make their way around the Iowa Speedway, let's show you the starting order for tonight's ESRA Challenge Series round number 2. Matt Wagner going to line up alongside of Jim Brooks. Alec Coates and Connor Baldwin on row 2. That means they were actually identical lap times for Jim Brooks and Alec Coates, which is pretty insane. Cullen Johnston and Nick DeGroot on row number 3. Charles Teed and James Watson on row 4. Gary Corley and Vic Aldrich on row 5. Row 6 will have Brandon Ishkanen and TJ McMurray. Row number 7, Jeff Destino and Richard Fletcher. And on row number 8, the two guys that did not set a time, Joseph Morales and Jason Hand. Tell you a little bit about this place before we get ready to roll. Iowa Speedway, located in Newton, Iowa, 7/8 of a mile, 12 to 14 degrees of progressive banking. This place opening in 2006. This is round 2 of the ESRA Challenge Series, 130 laps. Cautions will be called by iRacing. Restarts will be single file. They will have one shot at an overtime finish here this evening. As we get ready to roll, as always, race fans, the start of the ESRA Challenge Series gonna be all yours. First lap in the books in a wild hurry here this evening. Going to be Matt Wagner jumping out for the early lead over Jim. Oh, there's contact! Wagner's up into the wall. Caution flag is out. Looks like we may have another car involved that spun trying to avoid it. I believe that was Jim Brooks. Contact entering turn number 3. Puts Matt Wagner up into the outside retaining wall. That is most certainly not the way Matt Wagner wanted to start this race here this evening. Just the slightest bit of contact. Oh man, Brooks got absolutely plowed through by Connor Baldwin. So as we see Matt Wagner trying to work that car back around to pit lane. Take a look at the replay here. Go on board with Connor Baldwin. He just straight flipped Jim Brooks over his head. Good Lord. Several cars going to be making their way down pit road, including Charles Teed and James Watson, in addition to Jim Brooks and Matt Wagner that both had damage from that. Brooks's car missing the rear wing, Wagner missing the front end of that race car. Watson already on the pit lane. Now, I think this may be a little bit of a strategy call here, quite frankly, by James Watson. The number we're hearing is 56 laps to get back on the racetrack. Well, maybe not, because Watson is an extended duration stop on pit lane here. 34, 35 seconds now for James Watson. I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's tuned in on YouTube and on Twitch here. Hopefully you are going to enjoy the show as much as we are. Several drivers making big moves already. Gary Corley is up 4, Brandon Ishkanen up 5. Richard Fletcher up 5 as well. Hardest charger though right now, Jason Hand. He is up 6 positions. And James Watson still on pit lane. Not sure what's going on there. Let's see if we can get a word in here with Mr. Watson. James, seeing looks like a long repair job there. What's going on down there?
The ignition cut out. This piece of crap, it just cut out. And now my race is over because I'm going to be 2 laps down because the ignition cut out and wouldn't come back on. The car is good now, but I'm going to lose 2 laps and I'm completely screwed. I am beyond livid. My race is completely done.
Wow. Absolute heartbreaker there for James Watson. James, thank you very much for checking in with us. And oh, man, James fired up too, man. We're going to have him on the chip for the Indy Pro 2000 broadcast coming up next here on the National Racing Network. That will be at 10:15 in the East. Now, it shouldn't be an issue, but tonight's race does have a time limit attached to it. 130 laps or 70 minutes will be the time frame on this one. However, if we have that many yellows, oh man, now we see Cullen Johnston like flat disappearing here. Cullen's got to bail out of the way here as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. That is not where you want to see someone disappear. Johnston able to stay on the racetrack ahead of Alec Coates and Nick DeGroot. Connor Baldwin checking out for the race lead. Take a look here at the side-by-side, left-hand side of your screen. We'll have the battle for second. Cullen Johnston, Alec Coates, Nick DeGroot. Right-hand side of the screen has Brandon Ishkanen, Vic Aldrich, and TJ McMurray. They are battling for 6th, 7th, and 8th place on the racetrack. Already seeing at least 2 grooves opening up here. Cullen Johnston actually sort of running the middle of those grooves. Oh man, big dive inside by Nick DeGroot though. Big move, Johnston able to hold on, carries the momentum on the outside of the racetrack. Man, DeGroot and Alec Coates now going to be just about banging wheels here. Coates wants the outside on Johnston. Man, that's a fantastic battle going on the right-hand side of your screen, too. Side-by-side action throughout the field here at Iowa Speedway. Oh, buddy. Hold on to it there, boys. What a duel between Ishkanen, McMurray, Aldrich. Oh, Johnston almost got up into the wall. I think Coates may have gotten into it as well. Coates going to get back into the throttle, but that will separate that 2-3-4 battle. Caution flag is on the speedway once again, and it looks like, unfortunately, trouble again for James Watson. Oh, just a little bit of contact. Absolutely tears the back half off of that race car. Tough break there for Watson. Let's take a look. See if we can see that one again here. Take a look at it from overhead. A little bit of a push up the racetrack. Not really anywhere for Watson to go. Nice shot there overhead from the NRN drone. Several cars going to be making their way down pit road, including Cullen Johnston, who was running in the second position. Remember, he had contact with the outside wall and Alec Coates. So I would imagine this will be quick repair time for both Johnston and Coates. However, Vic Aldrich, Brandon Ishkanen, TJ McMurray, Joseph Morales, Jason Hand, all on pit lane as well. Quick fuel top-offs, because as we were saying, 56 laps was the stint. At 130 laps, 56 only gets you to about 112. From here, they are very likely to be able to go on one more stop. Or at least going to be very close to making it on one more stop. The problem is if you get a ton of caution flag laps, sort of like what we're seeing here, theoretically this race could turn into a one-stop race. If these drivers can get to halfway, get to lap 65, should be good to go. Won't leave you a ton of wiggle room. In fact, won't leave you any wiggle room for an overtime finish. Plus, you also have to bear in mind that you would need as many cautions in the second half of the race as you had in the first half of the race. So there's a lot of things that'll come into play here, but an early strategy call, quite frankly, a strategy call that I like here early on, stops at lap number 15. So we're going to go at least one more lap under the caution flag here. So we'll pop an ad up here on both YouTube and on Twitch. Have to say a big thank you to everybody that's tuned in here tonight. We really appreciate you hanging out with us, and hopefully you are enjoying the show. Let's see if we can't sneak a word in here very quickly with race leader Connor Baldwin. Tell you what, Connor, the car looks pretty good. How does it feel, and what are you thinking here in terms of strategy?
The car feels great. It is absolutely stuck to the track. The setup we got for the race tonight is really good. In terms of strategy, I have absolutely no idea. I did no calculations before the race, so I'm just kind of winging it. It says 2 stops, and I should stop in about 40 laps, so who knows at this point.
All right, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully we're talking to you again at the end of this thing.
Thank you.
So there you go. There's Connor Baldwin, your race leader. Something tells me Nick DeGroot is going to be pretty darn good here, though. The discussion amongst some of the drivers when they saw the name Nick DeGroot enter the server, everybody went, oh, man, now we're racing for second. Baldwin going to bring the field down very slowly. He is back on the accelerator as they exit turn number 4. Green flag goes back in the air. We are underway once again. Show you the race leaders on the left-hand side of your screen. On the right-hand side, going to be a very nice battle here. Jim Brooks, Richard Fletcher, Matt Wagner's in that one as well. Jason Hand making his way down pit lane. Everybody's starting to get themselves a little bit settled down. little bit of a battle starting to develop here between Charles Teed and Jim Brooks. Brooks with a fantastic recovery drive. He was involved in that lap 1 incident with Matt Wagner, lap 2 incident with Matt Wagner. Brooks thought about having a peek to the inside. The battle for the race lead is heating up as well. Baldwin holding the inside of the racetrack. He's going to force Nick DeGroot to make that move around the outside. Oh, great exit off of turn 4, though. That's going to open the door. New race leader into turn 1, Nick DeGroot. Baldwin going to try the cross under off of 2. He is going to be right there in that battle for the race lead. He'll slide up the racetrack, take a little bit of the air off the front, a little bit of smoke out there. Trouble for Cullen Johnston. Johnston able to get himself down onto the pit lane. Take a look here, see if we can see what happened to Cullen Johnston. Well, it looks like we'll have to wait just a moment on that replay here. Take you on board here as well. On board here with Nick DeGroot, following race leader Connor Baldwin around the racetrack. Yellow is out, trouble on the racetrack. Take a look and see if we can see. Don't see anybody that had an issue. Looks like may have been Charles Teed. Take a look here, see if we can see what happened to Teed. Oh, huge neck code, wild ride through turn 4. Wow, that was ugly. Those cars were not anywhere close to one another. Now our race leaders making their way down pit lane. So Alec Coates going to stay out on the racetrack. That is going to put him up to the race lead. Brandon Ishkanen also staying out. TJ McMurray, Joseph Morales staying on the racetrack. And we will have one lap car between the race leaders. Charles Teed making his way back down the pit lane. So let's reset the field for you here, as we should get the one to go signal next time by the start finish line. Alec Coates is your race leader. Brandon Ishkanen running second, TJ McMurray third, Joseph Morales fourth, and Jim Brooks completing the top five. Nick DeGroot runs sixth, Connor Baldwin seventh, Gary Corley eighth, Vic Aldrich ninth, Richard Fletcher completing the top 10. 11 through 16 will be Matt Wagner, Jeff Destino, Charles Teed, James Watson, Cullen Johnston, and Jason Hand. So far, only car that is out of the race and, well, pit side at this point is Jason Hand. Cullen Johnston going to take the wave around. Once again, coming up next at 10:15 here in the East, it will be the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Coming to you from Summit Point Motorsports Park in Summit Point, West Virginia. But we got more work to do here as the green flag goes back in the air. Alec Coates going to lead the field into turn number one. Side-by-side battle, Joseph Morales, TJ McMurray going to fight for the third position. Brandon Ishkanen way up on the outside of the racetrack. That car very, very off the pace. Stacks the entire field up behind him. Oh, Baldwin's going to go three wide up the middle. Oh, we thought about getting to the inside, I believe. Man alive, that was Joseph Morales that he was having a peek on. Had to back out of it. Jim Brooks now trying to get inside of Morales. DeGroot and Baldwin get a battle side by side. Oh, Brooks almost got it up into the fence. Big time push out of Jim Brooks. He's going to lose 2, if not 3 spots. Gary Corley able to come past. That's going to put everybody single file back to this side by side battle between Corley and Brooks. Man, a couple of wild incidents there. Do not want to lose track of this battle. Second, third, fourth, and fifth. TJ McMurray, Joseph Morales, Nick DeGroot, Connor Baldwin. Cars running in those positions. Go on board here with Connor Baldwin. Oh man, big dive down to the inside. Oh, we got a little bit loose, touched the apron, slides up the racetrack in 2. That'll open the door for Nick DeGroot. Caution is out. Yellow flag back on the speedway. Trouble for Richard Fletcher. Let's take a look here and see if we can see what the issue is. Oh, man, he's buried in the fence. I'll tell you what, when they wad up an Indy car here at Iowa Speedway, they do it right. Keep your eye on that bright blue car. Down to the inside. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. The car just absolutely buried itself. Let's take a look at this one again. A little bit closer angle this time. I don't know that there was any contact. If there was, it was slight. Yeah, just the slightest bit of side-to-side contact, and that car buries itself the entire right side into the safer barrier. So Alec Coates going to make his way down pit lane. Charles T, Jeff Destino, Brandon Ishkanen also going to join him on the pit lane. That will promote TJ McMurray to the lead of the race. James Watson will get the wave around. So that's going to put him back at the tail end of the lead lap. Teed, Destino, and Ishkanen all making their way off of pit lane. Jason Hand looks like he is out of the race. Richard Fletcher still taking the tow, unfortunately. I want to say a big thank you to Surf Gonzo, picking up a subscription on Twitch. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. So let's see. Yeah, we've got one more lap behind the iRacing safety car here. So let's see if we can do a quick check-in here with our race leader, Mr. TJ McMurray. And I tell you what, bud, car looks pretty good. You're up 11 spots, hard charger of the race. Tell us how things look from the driver's seat there.
Pretty wide open. It's just puddle to the floor, and got lucky on a pit stop on lap 18, so that's why I'm up here. Hopefully I got the pit strategy down.
I was going to say, looks by my math, you should have one stop left to go. At least that's the thought process anyway. Is that what your numbers are telling you?
Yeah, I'm hoping to make another few laps here and then pit for my last time, and hopefully helps me out there.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. Hopefully we're talking to you again in Victory Lane.
I hope so. Thanks, Chris.
So there you go. There's TJ McMurray. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It will be lap number 52 complete when the field crosses the stripe next time by. Green flags back underway. Let's take a look. Go on board side by side here with Connor Baldwin. Keep an eye on this kid. He's going to be aggressive here on the start. Already having a peek to the outside of Nick DeGroot. Baldwin easily able to clear Nick DeGroot. There's the look out the gearbox. He's already starting to approach long gone. How about inside of McMurray for the race lead? Almost banging wheels at the entry to turn number 1. Adios, amigos. Oh, but McMurray thought about getting to the inside. He's going to slide way up the racetrack. DeGroot has to take massive evasive action. Baldwin and DeGroot starting to check out here at the head of the field. Pick up the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. This is Jim Brooks, Gary Corley, Matt Wagner. Great recovery drive for Wagner after being involved in that early incident. DeGroot having to look to the inside of Baldwin. He will take the race lead back. We're going to put lap number 59 up on the scoreboard. 72 laps to go here at the Iowa Speedway. Man, big dive into the corner, though, by Connor Baldwin. Baldwin has led a race high 36 laps. The averages between the two leaders, absolutely insane. I can spit it out. 5-lap average, Connor Baldwin 16.743, Nick DeGroot 16.714. 10-lap average, Connor Baldwin 16.734, Nick DeGroot 16.736 as DeGroot looks to the inside. Baldwin trying the crossover off of 2. Just a couple of laps shy of halfway here in round number 2 of the ESRA Challenge Series. These are the DW12's. You can tell by the lack of an aero screen and the big old Kardashians hanging off the rear end of these things. That's what the late, great Robin Miller used to call the wheel pod bumper cover things on the back of these cars. So that fight settles down. Let's slide back here and pick up the fight with Gary Corley. Well, Matt Wagner, Gary Corley, and Alec Coates. Going on board here with Gary Corley. Absolutely no lift in any of these race cars right now. A couple laps ago, they saw the cross flags. We are past halfway home. Another good fight going on here. A little bit deeper in the pack. Going to be Brandon Ishkanen, James Watson, and Charles Teed. Once again, Ishkanen appears to possibly be a little bit off the pace here inside of turns 3 and 4. move up in the pack a little bit here, pick up the fight with Gary Corley and Alec Coates. They are, call it a third of a second behind Matt Wagner for the 4th position. Connor Baldwin holding a 4/10 of a second lead over Nick DeGroot at the head of the field. Knocking on wood, but this is, I believe, the longest green flag run we've had of the night here. Taking a look at some of the cars that we're going to expect to see on pit lane fairly soon. That list includes TJ McMurray. He is working the 57th lap of this stint. Joseph Morales on lap 54 of the stint. Morales currently running in the 9th position. McMurray running 3rd. And yeah, Joseph Morales making his way down pit lane, as is Jeff Destino. Our understanding of the rule for pit lane entry tonight was do it somewhere safe. Drivers not being held to a very specific standard of where they had to enter or exit pit lane. Pit lane entry is difficult. The exit is treacherous. Kind of dumps you off right in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Very hard to get the throttle down cleanly. It looks like we are in the window for the final set of pit stops here, or at least very close to that window being open. Yeah, we are. We are in the window here. So anybody who stops now can make it the rest of the way. The problem is you're going to lose a couple of laps if you come down pit lane, at least 2, probably more like 3 laps, if you have to make a green flag pit stop. So the overcut is definitely the long game, is definitely the right way to play this. However, if the run goes all the way, well, as soon as I say that, Nick DeGroot going to start making his way down the pit lane. The factory-backed CowboysShipMotorsport.com, number 89, and Nick DeGroot making his way down into his box. DeGroot was running 2nd when he came down the pit lane. And we can see the lights really coming into effect here. So this race will finish in the dark here at Iowa Speedway. Trouble for TJ McMurray. Oh, what a heartbreaker. TJ running very, very well. That was trying to, yeah, what we talked about, trying to get out of pit lane. See what happened here on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. You hit that line and bang, car just immediately starts to snap around. Jim Brooks is also on pit lane. He will hit the marks, come to the attention of his crew. Ooh, buddy. Nice save, Jim. He's able to keep the car pointed in the right direction. Connor Baldwin now with a 2.2 second lead over Matt Wagner. Thus far, things have really settled in nicely. Give you an update here on James Watson. He had that ignition issue very early in this race at lap number 2. Watson doing some wall riding in turns 1 and 2. He is up to the 6th position, battling with Brandon Ishkanen. Nice recovery drive there. Matt Wagner, who was involved in that incident. Oh, and here comes race leader Connor Baldwin. He is in pit lane. So long as he doesn't have any penalties, he should be your race leader. We'll see. Yeah, Nick DeGroot just starting lap 87, Baldwin working lap 88 as he crossed the start-finish line down here on pit lane. Down and away. Nice quick stop there for Connor Baldwin, 8.3 seconds. Oh, and he slides it into the wall. Connor Baldwin has the same issue. Nose first into the wall. The front wing is gone. Front bodywork is missing. He will have to come back in. Slowly down the backstretch goes Connor Baldwin. Alec Coates making his pit stop, the Mediocre Motorsports number 10. Oh, but he overshoots the box just a little bit. Has to get it backed up. Crew will go to work. Coates is down and away. Back up on the racetrack. Vic Aldrich making his pit stop out of the 6th position. And Connor Baldwin back down pit lane. That is excruciating for Connor Baldwin. Here comes Matt Wagner. That's going to promote Gary Corley to the lead of the race. James Watson running in the 2nd position. Wagner hits the marks. He's down and away cleanly. The question is, can he get off a pit road without wadding things up? Yes, he can. Gary Corley makes his way down pit road now. In the number 78, the 2nd of the Dark Horse Racing entries. 2nd of 4 tonight, Charles Teed and Jim Brooks also on that Dark Horse Racing team. Oh, and Corley spins it. Everybody having trouble trying to get off this very slick Iowa Speedway pit road. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the 78. We'll see if he's going to come back down pit lane. So right now, James Watson, Brandon Ishkanen, and Charles Teed, the only cars that have not stopped. And if a caution flag were to fly now, the 0 to hero run for Watson would be just about complete. Because at this point, only 3 cars remain on the lead lap. And I'll tell you what, called about a half-second difference in pace. Oh, big contact! Huge wreck down the front straightaway. Brandon Ishkanen's going to be involved. This is huge. Charles Teed is also involved. Oh, man, did Teed manage to sneak through that? Brandon Ishkanen has to take the tow. And James Watson might be the luckiest SOB at the Iowa Speedway. He is currently working lap number 103, as is Charles Teed. 3rd place running Nick DeGroot. We're just starting. Well, now we see him there down the back straightaway. Lap number 100 2. Here comes Watson and Teed down pit lane. Seeing the red lights are still on at the end of pit lane, though. Watson and Teed both in their box, both down and away, and Charles Teed gonna beat James Watson off of pit lane. Now we're seeing, it looks like Nick DeGroot DeGroot came all the way around and passed the pace car. So Nick DeGroot going to pull down pit lane. By our math, Nick DeGroot, Matt Wagner, and Jim Brooks will end up back on the lead lap here. But it will be Charles Teed and James Watson at the head of the field. Everybody between race leader Charles Teed and the pace car will get the wave around at 1 to go. Let's see if we can get, actually, let's see. Let's get Charles Teed up here into the booth with us. And tell you what, Charles, been a long time since we've gotten to talk to you here, but I'll tell you what, that strategy played out about almost as perfect as you could have planned it.
I've hit almost everything on the track or been hit by everything. Yeah, it's super fortunate. I didn't take tires there, though, so we're going to see how this thing works, but it's so freaking hard to pass. So we had to give it a shot and go see if we can get him here, out snooker him.
Well, I'll tell you what, clean air has been king tonight. Pretty smart call, and you're only going to have like 5 cars left on the lead lap. This really is going to be an interesting show here late in this thing.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how they've been running up front, but that's good to hear that clean air has been king. We're certainly going to make it high. We're going to make it hard. We're going to make him pass on the bottom because I'm going to protect the top. The top seems like where you need to be.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. Hopefully we're talking to you again at Victory Lane.
Thank you, bud. It's good to chat.
Yes, it is. Too long since we've gotten to talk to Charles Teed here on these ESRA IndyCar broadcasts. There's everybody getting the wave around. Now it looks like, let's see. Yeah, it's going to be 3 cars on the lead lap. And actually, I'm not totally positive that Nick DeGroot should be on the lead lap here. That may have been a quirk of iRacing timing and scoring, but it looked like DeGroot was waved around the pace car, was able to make his pit stop, but DeGroot's going to have a lot of lap traffic separating him from Charles Teed and James Watson. This one's going to be fun. We'll see if Watson's watching the broadcast, and if he knows that the race leader in front of him does not have tires. Oh, man, big moment there for Colin Johnston coming back to the restart. What Nick DeGroot really needs right now is a very quick yellow. Seeing our buddy Christian Jasper checking in the comments here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight there, buddy. So much for Cullen Johnston protecting the outside. There he's going to do it through 3 and 4. Watson dives way down to the inside, almost a slide job out of 4. Watson will get the pass cleared into turn number 1. We'll see if Johnston's going to be able to do anything with it, and he will not. Watson starts to check out. Only one lap car now separating Charles Teed and Nick DeGroot. In fact, nobody now separating Charles Teed and Nick DeGroot. DeGroot down to the inside. He will get the pass completed through 1 and 2. 19 to go here at Iowa. Is there enough time left for Nick DeGroot to catch and pass James Watson? DeGroot electing to take tires under that pit sequence. DeGroot really able to make the bottom side of the racetrack work. Watson running the higher line. Is there enough time to catch him? Heck, that only took a lap and a half. DeGroot looking to the inside of Watson for the lead through 4. Tucks right back in line. The question becomes now, where does James Watson decide to block? Tries to take the air off, and Watson slides up the racetrack out of 2. That'll open the door for DeGroot into 3. Wow, that pass looked easy. New race leader Nick DeGroot back to the line, 15 to go. Go on board here with James Watson on the right-hand side of your screen as he chases down race leader Nick DeGroot. He's going to have the look, thought about it, peek to the outside into 1 and 2. Man, DeGroot is just so strong on the bottom of the racetrack. Gonna make Watson do this the hard way. You wonder, though, is DeGroot burning up too much in the way of tires? Running that low line. Watson again get a peek to the outside. DeGroot running a really defensive line down the front straightaway. In fact, running the same defensive line down the back stretch. Seeing the comment coming in here from Christian Jasper that the tires on that car and Nick DeGroot are starting to wear a little bit. And yeah, I agree. He is getting sketchy out of turn number 4. Down to 7 to go. The question is, can Watson do anything about it? This race started with James Watson on pit lane and 2 laps down. After basically, it sounded like the ignition failed in the car. Great recovery drive for Watson here up to 2nd. The gap opens up to 0.4 of a second. Down to 5 to go. The lead now up to 0.6 of a second. Matt Wagner rapidly starting to catch in on James Watson as well. The gap still sitting right about 1.1 seconds, however. 4 to go here at the Iowa Speedway, and Nick DeGroot is checking out. Seeing Vic Aldrich making his way down pit lane very late in the going here. 1 lap to go here for Nick DeGroot. I tell you what, James Watson could be in trouble here. Matt Wagner has absolutely caught up. Coming off of turn number 4 for the final time, Nick DeGroot gets the win at Iowa. James Watson able to hold on for second, and Matt Wagner will complete your podium here tonight. Watson and Wagner both involved in lap 2 incidents. Nick DeGroot burning them down on the front stretch once again. A masterclass in donuts. Good Lord. That's how you do it, brother. Good Lord. Absolutely gorgeous set of donuts there out of Nick DeGroot. Let's show you your race results here tonight. DeGroot the winner by 1.6 seconds over James Watson. Matt Wagner completing the podium here this evening. Jim Brooks and Charles Teed complete your top 5. TJ McMurray, Alec Coates, Cullen Johnston, Richard Fletcher, and Gary Corley the top 10. Joseph Morales, Vic Aldrich, Brandon Ishkanen, Jeff Destino, Connor Baldwin, and Jason Hand will complete the field here this evening. Get the cameras ready to go here for the instant replays, and we will start things off here with our race winner tonight, Mr. Nick DeGroot. I'll tell you what, man, that was impressive, but talk me through the final caution here, because did iRacing send you around the pace car? It looked to me like you would have pitted with the lap cars, but all of a sudden we saw you passing the pace car, and it was like,
yeah, I was the lucky dog candidate. Yeah, I got the
there
free
you
pass.
go. Okay.
And then we were able to pit there because I got the free pass, get some tires on it, and be able to challenge James and Tita. If I wasn't able to pit there for those tires, I don't think I could have done much with either of them.
Yeah, because that was a heck of a run. You restarted third, but you were actually about 8th or 9th in line with a whole pile of lap cars between you. What was that like, trying to push your way through them, knowing you had to go quickly if you were going to get it done?
Yeah, I was watching those times because, once you get out to like a second here in these cars, the draft is gone, and unless they get battling, you're not catching them. But the lap cars, they were really considerate there. Most of them kind of just let me go, which was really helpful. And Teed, I saw him make a mistake there, was able to grab his draft. And then you had Cullen. I think he was up with James, so I was able to draft up on him. And it all worked out for us. That could have easily gone a very different way. So I thought that race was lost when that caution came out, but nope, we still got a chance at the end, and we're still able to take it. And James put up a great fight there for those few laps before the tires started to wear. And it's cool to come in here, drop in, grab a win here and there. It's a fun league.
Well, we appreciate you coming in to hang out with us here, and everybody was talking pre-race that you were kind of running for best in class when they saw your name pop into the server. What's that like when you kind of have, you're kind of in the other drivers' heads a little bit, like, man, this guy's just really quick in these cars?
Yeah, it's always good when you're winning the psychological war, but I mean, these guys shouldn't sell themselves short. They're very competitive drivers, and I picked this race specifically as one of the ones I wanted to do because Iowa is not one of my better tracks. I seem to have a lot of issues here. I actually hit the wall early in this race chasing Connor, and somehow got away with it. And then later, coming off pit road, I just about spun the thing out and had to lock it down under green. So this place has a tendency to bite me, and it almost did it again here a couple times today. But always glad to get some more laps here, try to get better, and come away with a win. That's really cool. I don't get many wins at Iowa Speedway, so that was fun.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on picking up the win here in the ESRA Vintage Challenge Series, and make sure you get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you to Factor Back Motorsports, everybody that supports us, or motorsport.com, covenmore.com, to Good Automotive U-Haul and Detailing, Blaze Pods, Wegmans, HyperX, Cowboy Shit, and everybody else. And also congrats to James and Matt on a well-earned podium by the both of them. That was a great comeback by Matt, specifically with that wreck early in the race, come back to get third. And I think if he was up there with me, he could have really put up a fight. I think he was faster in the end. So, yeah, I got lucky that he wasn't the one getting the free pass. But it was a good race. Great racing with these guys as always. Look forward to the next one.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us. And now it's time to bring in the guy who was our runner-up here this evening, Mr. James Watson. I tell you what, bud, I could have sworn this race was going to be a fight between you and Charles Teed. And then I saw DeGroot get figured out after the race, quite frankly, that he got the lucky dog. What was going through your head when you saw the wreck happen behind you? You know, it was really only the three of you on the lead lap. Brandon getting torn up. And, I mean, you came from 2 laps down on lap 2 to finish second in this thing.
Yeah, I caught a really, really, really bad break at the beginning, and then I caught a lot of really, really, really good breaks as the race went on to make my whining and complaining very moot. Yeah, I am very happy with that. I thought I was completely screwed. I'm not gonna get 2 early cautions to get back on the lead. There's no way this is gonna happen. And then, boom! All of a sudden, I'm sitting in the lead with the caution. I'm like, oh my god, I might actually win this race somehow. This is.
Well, and then we make that final pit stop. You stop at 104. Nick stops at 105. From that point on, it seemed like you two were locked in a really good battle. Did you just overcook the tires trying to get past him?
Yeah, I think it was that, and plus I may have had damage because when me and Jeff had our little incident for the second caution, it didn't take my fast repair, and I had no repair, so I had no idea. I had to have gotten damage, so it must have been some side damage that couldn't be fixed, but for some reason was also not good enough to trigger the fast repair. So, yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a run. Congratulations on picking up a very nice second place finish here in the ESRA Vintage Challenge Series, and looking forward to talking to you, sharing the booth with you here in just a little bit for the Indy Pro 2000s. But before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
yes, sir. Gotta, of course, thank you and everyone else over at NRN for always helping and supporting me. Gotta thank ZAS Designs for putting my paint schemes together. Gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing and Martin Sports and their awesome sim racing apparel.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us. We'll talk to you in just a little bit here on the Indy Pro 2000 broadcast. And now it's time to bring in the guy who finished third this evening, Matt Wagner. And, man, I'll tell you what, bud, you were upside down on fire, full Ricky Bobby on lap 2. How in the world did you finish third tonight?
Pretty much not my headset crashing this time around. I believe I had fixed the issues. It was a little bit on the PC settings on my side. But other than that, my day went kind of sour in the start. We all saw that. Gathered my focus up, and unfortunately that caution hurt us when they came out and we pitted, and it trapped us a lap down, and we had to start pretty much a lot of lap cars between me, James, and Nick, and Charles, and it took me forever to get back up there. And here we are, lap 127. Oh God, here I come, and just ran out of laps. It was fun.
Another couple of laps, and you might have had them here. We're seeing the move inside of 3 and 4 on the white flag lap. That's got to be fun, though. These cars are planted and yet sketchy. This is a fun combination to run in terms of car and track.
Yes, this car specifically has a whole lot more downforce we see in the IR-18s. Back when, before the IR-18 was introduced, you saw a lot of pack racing with the DW12's. And of course, it became a safety thing, and they changed the DW12 to IR-18. But as far as the short track program with these cars, it's so much fun. And I just wish IndyCar would go to it with, because you see on the TV screens a lot of times at Iowa or Worldwide Technologies, it's all single file, boring. But you bring these cars in the mix on a short track, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, the downforce package on these cars was pretty insane at the time, and quite frankly, it still is for the amount of downforce they were running. But I'll tell you what, brother, congratulations, a fantastic podium finish tonight here, and make sure you get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go.
Oh, yeah. Chris, I like to thank you what you do, and I turned to a couple of your podcasts. It's pretty good. I'd like to thank James and Team Watson Racing. Without them, I would be nothing. Well respect to those guys. Area 51, I love those guys for the bottom of my heart. Dark Horse Racing over at Lionheart Series. Getting ready to race on Monday. Let's go get them.
All right, buddy. Good luck here the rest of the way, and looking forward to talking to you again next week. And man, that was fun, man. I said it pre-race. I love the Indy cars at Iowa Speedway. Doesn't matter what vintage they are. They're just a blast to watch around this place. Looking forward to them going back here in the real world for a doubleheader coming up, I think in the month of July it is. Either July or August, they're heading back to Iowa Speedway. Can't wait for that one in the real world, but we got more racing action coming up here tonight on the National Racing Network. It will be the Indy Pro 2000 Championship coming up at 10:15 in the East. And, well, we got to get the stuff ready to go here. But, man, this was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the show. We got more action coming up. This Indy Pro 2000 race from Summit Point is going to be crazy. Last year we saw the entire top 10 wad each other up on lap number 1, and the racing was tooth and nail from there. It was absolute craziness. And I think we're going to see more of it again tonight with a very tight battle in the championship point standings. But with that, it's time for us to get out of here. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. We thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.